my God, yeah. Okay. All right. Let me I just have to set up my phone and we are set to go. Oh, wrong one.
My dogs are still asleep in bed.
Are they?
Yeah, that's
You
the
got you.
worst about it. If I could get up and get them going, then it would be easier, but no. That's a
How can
difference.
that be? I mean, really?
These are Shih Tzus. I don't know how to
Oh,
explain it. I've never had dogs that did this. My other dogs are always up early and getting me moving, but these two,
yeah. Uh,
true left.
mine get me up, but then they go back to sleep, and then you're stuck, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's you. So,
Well, I had a
there we
border.
go.
I was going to tell you, I had a border collie, and he insisted that we run twice a day. So he would get me up early in the morning, and we go for a run, and then he would sleep all day. And then we'd come back in the afternoon, and if he didn't get his run, he literally went and got his leash,
Oh,
you know.
they're
And I'm
smart
like,
dogs,
oh
aren't they?
God,
Yeah.
I was in
Where do
good
you
shape.
go run? I mean, you take them to the park and just let them go.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go to the park? And he would like go and get his leash and stand at the door. And I would like, okay, guess so. I guess we're going.
Yeah.
But we didn't get in the car and drive. That was the thing.
Uh,
Yeah. So it was always a big deal. So sometimes I didn't always make the run to the park. And mm-mm. then he wouldn't,
yeah.
then he would eat.
Oh,
Then he would eat, which he knew upset me. So we went through the whole thing. He was extremely smart dog.
they are. That breed is very smart. Yeah.
Yeah. He lived 17 and a half years too.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. These slugs that I have now are going to make it.
Well, that's a sad thing. That is the saddest thing. These they don't live forever, and
No, no.
that's the saddest thing. But I tell you, even now that we've lost a few and stuff, it's if we get another one pretty quickly, I'll feel good. I feel as a puppy and it starts all over again. It's like, yeah, I can get by.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
feel the same way. I'm glad I got these two, even though they're a little strange compared to
yeah.
my border collie. They're very.
Well, we're not painting puppies today, but maybe
No.
we'll put that on the list for next week.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
knows?
really, really excited about this one. This is beautiful.
Yeah, Sandhill Cranes. What do you think? That could be a lot of fun. These guys, uh, you know, at dusk, or is this
Oh,
morning? I'm not sure. I
yeah.
got this from. It just popped up on my feed from my animal reference place, free reference for artists, and it just popped up, and I go, "Oh my god!" And she said she had a bunch more of these, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to put them up there. And I grabbed this one. I said, "No, I would never put any of these up there. These don't ever. Nobody paint this one. This is terrible. How dare you?" No, I didn't say that, but I grabbed it right away, and I said, "Wow, I'd love to paint this because there has so many cool aspects to it. It has cool light, warm light,
Mm-hmm.
great action, interesting moment,
Yeah.
uh, great lighting. It's like, okay, it has everything you could want in a painting.
Yeah.
So let's paint it, and if we get it out there quickly, no one else would paint it. Well, everybody else will paint it, but at least you did it first, and I have not seen anybody else's painting, right? So I'm good. Let me see. I think somebody wanted in. Uh, Somebody I thought wanted in. I'm sorry. Uh,
That was
oh,
probably because I thought I wouldn't make it in.
well, something popped up there. So let me see if I can pull this up and we'll talk about it. For some reason, when I set this last zoom up, I kind of screwed it up. I didn't hit automatically let you guys in, and so that gets a little messed up. Okay, here we do have it. I do have it. Here we go. Yeah, sandhill cranes, cool. I've only painted them like once before, but it was so interesting. That little red spot on their head, I thought that was really great. Interest, and the span, the size of these guys. Look at that wingspan. I mean, a full wingspan. I'm not sure if this is a mating dance or anything, if anybody knows, or is this just one of those moments where the guy walks in front of her or him or whatever? I don't know. I was going to look it up, but I didn't get a chance. So I won't say anything else about that. Make myself look stupid, any more stupid than I am. Let's look at this thing. All right. Very cool. Great wingspan. That wingspan from, going across there, that is, really cool. All those wing guys are opened, that's beautiful. Great long neck, head, and this guy in front. This is a little bit of a problem,
Yeah.
I would say I don't really care for it being exactly in the middle. I wish this guy was over probably right about there, over about more this way and a little bit more of this guy showing in here. We can see his legs back in here, so we kind of know where his legs are. So in the body, it's pretty simple. It's not anything too much we can't show there. Not just tail wise, I'm not sure what's going on back in here. I could steal a tail from over here or something. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking about maybe sliding that guy over a hair, just because I don't care for it exactly in the middle, because these guys feel like they're one piece, which is, it's okay. Or you could do another thing. You could just make this guy, slightly bigger, and keep that there, but we could just bring this all over a half inch. I like that. That idea works out pretty good. As long as he's off center a little. Well, now he's almost more centered because of that and that. Okay, never mind. I'm just thinking out loud. Trying to see, on the fly, trying to see if I could fix this. Kind of would be nice. I should have probably done that head. So I think I could just slide him over a little bit. I'll be fine. Okay, never mind. Okay, cools and warms. Everything in this guy is really pretty cool, except for this one little area here. You can see the light hitting on his wing there. That warmth on that one spot. I would take that warmth and put it right here on his head, a little bit on his head too. Maybe just a touch onto his neck. I would think that would be probably would really help sell this thing. Maybe even just a hair. Right here. This is what I'll do. This is how I'll separate it out. I'm gonna take the light. I'm gonna bend it. I'm gonna use it there, and I'm gonna use it there. This warm light back in here. I'm gonna bring it to these areas here too. I mean, it's already here, but I'm gonna bring it to those areas just to separate this guy away from him. It works in a photo. It's going to have trouble in a painting. That's always going to be a little bit of an issue. But if I can steal color from back in here and just kind of see how that goes over in here, I'll try it. And if it doesn't work, I can always repaint it and move this guy over, do some other things. There's always options in oils. Background. Okay, the background's interesting on this guy because it is cool with some spotted warm light coming into the foreground, which is all in cools. Well, how I'm going to paint that? How am I going to look at that? If I'm not going to concentrate very hard on any of the birds, yeah, you got to hit certain things on these birds, necks and things like that. but you don't have to give them too much love. They're all soft, very blurry, right? They're pretty blurry, so you shouldn't be giving them a lot of info. This guy's sharp as a tack. He's really great, you know. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to block it in with my big brush back there, and in the foreground into it a little bit, you know, bring it in. What I'm going to do back here in this area, back behind the bird, I'm going to be just using a bristle brush to keep things soft. Bristle brushes are like that. They just will keep things soft. I'll use it a lot, some of the bristle brushes in the sides and in here, but then I'm going to bring out my good rosemary brushes, the synthetics, and really just hit the heck sharp spots. If you hit that wingspan feathers with a really sharp, clean brush, and put them in like you mean it. Even if you throw them in there, put them in there. When we put them in there, you put them in there as hard as you can, and you'll be good. You'll be really, really great. But if you put them in, a little bit like timidly, they won't stand out. So if you put them in with a just throw them in there really strongly, they'll stand out. But to get these guys to stand out, we do have a problem. We usually paint, black and white over black. This one we're going to have to do a little bit different because, we only have like 6 spots there, and I don't want to take the white through that much. It'd be easier to take the dark and into the light. So that's where we will be, just dipping your brush in the oil, a little bit of oil before you grab your paint and then put it out there. And then we'll just really concentrate on warms and cools. So otherwise, a lot of blues, and guess what other color there's in this thing? There's so much.
There's got to be green.
Phthalo green.
There's orange.
There's so much orange.
Orange, phthalo greens,
Purple.
gray, purples. This is a perfect one of painting for us because it is just all gray, beautiful midtones.
Mm-hmm.
And then just hit with just those spots of light. Just wonderful stuff. Yeah. So, I could sit here and talk about this all day and we won't have to paint it. If you guys want me to do that, I could do that too. But I do like the idea of maybe just getting this guy off center a little bit more. That'd be great. The bottom guy. Anything else?
I love the background. I love it's so soft and inviting. Your eye just goes back there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite spot, actually. The background.
That's your favorite? Yeah. Well, those are like all just vertical strokes too, right? Most of them are right to the water. Everything's pretty much vertical strokes. They say, most reflections are painted with vertical strokes, but when the water is kind of like this, it's really, has a sheen on it like that. Yeah, those are just really dry brush almost going across it, but the color in that, so you could just see here the blues against these yellow whites, and then you got these little bit of orange, burnt orange in there. So and pinks, lots of pinks and phthalo greens. So lots of little colors, and they just got to be so tight together. So when we mix them up one color, and we kind of just spread it out and mix the other colors to be the exact same value. This painting will take care of itself very quickly. Tones and stuff, I would say mid-tones. You might want to look back in here for mid-tones for that. That looks like a 7 or an 8. Probably closer to an 8, but it's probably 7. but we'll go with that. But the thing is, this guy here too, he's not that much behind it. He could be a 7. That could be like this back here could be like a 7.5, and he's like a 7. That's how tight these colors are going to end up being. Which is going to be great. It's going to be great. This is going to be so much fun to paint. We probably won't finish today, but we're going to have all the colors made up and everything is ready to go, that we can finish it. So, let's get busy before they kick us out of here. Okay. All right. Let me see. I swear there's somebody wanted in and I kind of missed it. Shoot. I'm going to hear it. 1 second here. 1 second. I'm going to check my emails because I know there was a girl who wanted in this class really badly, and I don't see her. Don't see a name from her yet. Okay. Well, no one complained. The Deborah side was supposed to be in here, DJ. And I don't see her name here. So I will send it out to her as soon as we're done, and she'll yell at me about not letting her in. Okay, but that's part of the game. Or way to go. All right, colors for this one. We're gonna have titanium white, got cad yellow light, got cad red light, and cad orange. I got this is weird, I'm sorry. My ochres just kind of swing around here because I grab them, and they all look the same. The tubes all look the same, but this is transparent ochre, yellow ochre. We'll have some fun with it and see what it does. It's darker than regular ochre. Maybe it's because it's transparent. They burn it, like they do burn sienna and burn umber and stuff. This is oxide red light. See, it's not Terra Rosa today. It's just oxide red light. I finally found my extra tube of it. Alizarin crimson, or you could have rose madder deep if you are a Rembrandt guy. This is cobalt blue hue. Just pull the skin off that thing. Sometimes you get this little skin here. I want to clean up spots because I don't know. Grab them. Phthalo green, blue shade. And there is a big difference between phthalo green and phthalo green blue shade. Blue shade's so much better. This is transparent oxide. So, and this is probably a dried up cad red light, or cad red medium.
The transparent oxide, that's not the same as Venetian, right?
You can use that. Oh no, transparent is not.
Okay, so I use burnt sienna with something.
Okay, yeah, if you want burnt sienna by itself, this is burnt sienna right here.
Oh, okay.
Here, let me show you. I'll show you the difference real quick. Oh, then brushes. I'll just show quick some synthetics, big brush, some synthetics, and then a bunch of bristles. I'm going to go very bristly on this one, probably for the background, but a lot of big strokes. We do big strokes, we can get this thing blocked in. And that's what I'm looking for, is a solid block in. My paint eraser, sorry. Okay, so for Lynette and everybody else, this is burnt sienna. This is burnt sienna. This is oxide, transparent oxide. Just going to put a little bit of white into both these guys and mix them up. See how red this gets? And then see this one, just a slightly bit warmer. This is just slightly bit warmer. That's slightly bit red. That would should work great. Here, let me show you one more thing we'll end up doing, because I think this would be interesting, is putting a little bit of blue into these colors. And then putting white into them. And you can see what the real difference is when you start mixing them. This is oxide red, transparent oxide red with blue. Makes a nice warm gray. And this is burnt sienna with blue. So it makes a more different gray. It's more of a natural. Maybe I could just use a little more burnt sienna in this. Let's see what that makes, or I can get in the same tone. Yeah, still turns a little more red. That stays a little warmer and stuff. But, you know, in a painting like this, you know, back in here, it will make a difference. You know, it can go in here very nicely. You can almost see it in the water here, just this toned down. So a lot of grays. So I might even be using it myself. Speaking of that, I'm just going to put it down here. I hate to waste paint, even when I do these things. So even though I get my paint mostly for free, I don't throw it away. Unless it's, you know, real, you know, buying those guys, don't need it. We'll see it someplace. You'll see that someplace. No. That would mean you guys would have to do this demo with me to make these colors. Let me clean this off. God, I thought I forgot I didn't wipe it off. Most of these colors in there are dry, but it's nice to start with a good clean one. Right. This photo is basically dead compared to what's going to be on. We'll be painting, but I'm going to leave it here to point. All right. All right. First colors. Look for those really dark ones we're going to look for. Look for them in, you know, well, the legs, that kind of shadows. Knowing that some of these colors back in here, what our paint's going to turn to. I'm always going to start off with my favorite colors. Put out a little bit of phthalo green and alizarin. I find this color as weird as it is, it's such a natural color in things. It's just a beautiful gray when it comes down, but it's cool. It can be a lot of this guy. That's why I'm putting in it, making that up right away. Definitely want one on the red side. I'm going to steal this one because this kind of overdid that pile. But I think you're getting all excited about this painting already. That one's just a little bit going to be too green. So I want mostly really good mixes here. So yeah, I need one on the purple side. But I want one like this, more of a right down the middle. It won't be down the middle as soon as you add white to it because green will just fly through there. So I'm going to do more greens. I find in that background a lot of transparent oxide red and green. So transparent oxide red is very weak. You see what phthalo did to it, just turn it green. So I am going to get rid of this phthalo there and just use whatever I have here, oxide red and just a little bit of that pile. Protect the burnt sienna or the warmth of this color, so it doesn't get just wiped out. Not a very strong color. Keep going with the phthalos because I know there's going to be some beautiful colors out of this color. This is going to be oxide red light with phthalo green. That was transparent oxide red. This is oxide red light. And you can see the huge difference in color.
So
Very red.
we could use burnt sienna if we don't have the.
Yes, please use burnt sienna. If you don't have transparent, that's what I was using. If you don't have regular oxide red light, use the Venetian.
But the transparent is the burnt sienna.
Yes. And of course, two piles of each. Good call there, Lynette. Don't let me get away with anything. Okay, so you get some nice worms and stuff back there. You can start to see. It won't take much to put those guys in place. All right. The next colors, I'm going to go on the blue sides of everything. And I've done this before. And it seems like a broken record where I just kind of go through and do almost the same colors. But I have to because of I see these colors in there. And this would be alizarin and blue. Whoop. Wow. Wow. One on the blue side, one on the alizarin side. This would be really good for the crown of the head and the shadows and stuff, right around the beaks. Definitely can use them in the legs. But I'm not using them for their darkness. I'll be using them for their in-between colors, because sometimes when they break down, they can get into these light blues that are just, going to be gorgeous in this painting. I need this. I'm just going to do one more. This blue and oxide red light. This is going to be my smoky blue at the end. So that was a heavy-handed grab. So one on the blue side, one on the red side. You can see kind of fit in here pretty nicely. All right. I'm just looking for any specialty colors. I want to make any nothing right now. I'm going to stay with this for now. We're going to make up the oranges in a little bit. Red oranges and stuff. So I'm going to take each one of these piles and split them. Hold on to that and clean my knife. And then we're going to add enough white into these guys to get them to a 7 or 8 value. Well, probably 8, but 8.5 or 7.5, 8. And some of these piles are going to even go down smaller. I mean, really go brighter. Let's go at 9. There we go. So you can start to see how this smoky blue purple goes in here. It's really close to where it needs to be. I'm gonna leave it there for now because I want to do some lighter versions of this. And this is the blue-gray side of it, or green side. You could see this one, it's all over inside these guys. And I could use it pretty heavily in the back here on some of these birds. Thinking about
Why doesn't my color look like purple and blue? It looks more green. Too much green.
no, too much, not enough. Yeah, too much green. So you keep adding alizarin to it. Yeah, alizarin. Yeah, we'll do it. Alizarin's the really cool section of this that really makes that greens behave. And it might be amount of white I added to already. Ooh, this is too much white. Sometimes the colors just don't have much to it. So you see very green, probably not going to be in here very much. I'm going to add just a little bit more of transparent oxide to this color. Gray it out a little bit more. So I can set it back here a little bit. It's probably not gonna, who knows? I just ran across this yesterday when I was painting that I go, I'm not gonna mix up this color. I'm not gonna mix up this color because I don't think it's in here. But I'll do it anyway. I do it. I just find out it's really a major color in the painting. I just, when it mixes sometimes, and sometimes on the palette, it looks so much different when you put it up against a different color. You know, you put this warm against this purple and stuff, and look at how it just changed. It just went darker and stuff. And so sometimes you can't call, work on, expect that all the time. So that's why I'd say, even if you don't want to do this, you don't want to mix, every color like that, just do it. Don't want to hear it. Just do it. Because you'll be surprised sometimes. Okay, so this is the phthalo green and oxide red. You can just so you can see that this is transparent oxide red. This is oxide red light with green. Both these two with green. This is a huge difference. You can see how that can fit farther back, and I can use this stuff in the front wise because it comes forward. This stuff, these colors back in here will fall back a little bit in space. So we can use that to create space. Putting that, look at that. That's green and red together and nails the back. I did not see it as quite as red, but till I put this up here. Quite that red. And these guys are going to be really kind of weird because these are periwinkle kind of colors. Blue and alizarin. I was going, yeah, I don't know if I want to mix this color up, but you put it in here and sometimes it just makes things glow. So you mix it up. Use it for the dark, but maybe I'll end up using it for some lights too. This purple's really nice. This is like very clean, that's like a beautiful purple and stuff. Definitely want to try and get it in this guy someplace, in the water, someplace else. Okay. These guys are the ones I thought were going to take over this painting, be the painting right here. These are oxide red, light, and blue. If I get them to the right value, got a little bit too much white in them. really thought they were going to be able to fit back in here nicely too. You see how they're going to be able to play with these warms on these reds, the green side. This is on the red side. This is probably going to be way too much for anything. So let's leave it there. I'm not going to, I'll find some spots for it. You might find it in the bird. You might find it a lot in the bird, in fact. Okay. Let's go there. I think I can get most of that stuff done there. I'm going to take these up. Before I do that, let's do the oranges. Okay, the oranges. I'm going to go with, if you have oxide red light, with, we're going to try a couple little colors here. We're going to go cad yellow. I went with a kind of a cooler, grayed out red here. And I'm trying to beef it up with yellow to get it to the orange I need. I didn't want to start off with too bright of an orange. Let's see, it's a little more red than that. Okay, leave that one there. Okay, now if I go alizarin and cad yellow, it's going to be a really kind of more of a red color. Okay, let's leave it there. I'm going to take a piece of it, add some more yellow to it, try and get the orange out of it, keep it on the orange side still. Pretty close, probably just needs a little bit of white. But we're going to leave it pretty clean, but I'm going to leave that there for now. So I'll be able to use these two pretty easily for a lot of the oranges. I'm going to try to save all the color I got there. One color I didn't make, I want to try this. Blue and transparent oxide, or you can go burnt sienna. This is going to make a gray. This is what I was going here, for. I want to might want a gray like this. So this was that color. I'm looking just for a grayed out color. So if you do blue and burnt sienna, or blue and oxide red, transparent oxide red, because I don't really have any yellow warms except for this one, and it probably went a little bit too yellow anyway. But I needed kind of a mud color to go back in here. Because if I take that mud color and just mix it with just a hair of this red, orange, I'm going to get all this stuff and get all my things. So that's why I wanted to put it down here. Okay. The last little thing is to get the highlights. And we have a bunch already done. I'm just going to go through here and take most of these colors and just bring them over here and get this out of my hand. Like my knife here. Then I'll include all my piles. I'm going to take these colors up pretty high. Value-wise, well, I say high, but it's really, right around the 4s and 5s. Like 4s and 5s. I'm going to take all these colors up to about there and see what we got. See which ones I can use for the last water round. So I'm putting all the greens on top, and basically I'll end up putting all the blues here on the bottom. And then let me steal this one. Gotta take an orange one. I'll make up some final colors here too. And so these guys are gonna have enough white to each one of them to take them to about, let's say 4. 4 is the magic number, 4. And that's about the painting. The painting is just not, it is based on warms and cools. It's not in value. It's not really based on, you know, contrast where you get really bright brights, except for a few spots. So 4, this is about a 5. So just a touch more white. Take it up one more step. So, and we won't be painting with these for a while. So, while I say that, and I'll probably jump right to them. So, I won't just, but you know, some of you guys' palettes get pretty full. You know, if you put these colors on a different sheet and stuff, it might have more room. These greens, definitely. This is what that water can be. I mean, that water can be a lot of greens and reds and oranges and stuff. If you do that, and they're all just from here, it's going to be really, really great painting. You know, you can control just control it with warms and cools, but not worry and have your values just be perfect. You know, you're set. Yeah, you can see how that fits in there. Just probably a hair bright, but I figured time I get done mixing up this, I can tone this one back down. But it is a big color in here. So remember, transparent oxide, a little bit of phthalo green, and white, ton of white. It's going to be a really good number for this one. Going a little bit brighter, aren't I? Oh, that's in there too. Wow. Okay. Gonna be fun. Really, you know, just those little teeny reds, which we already have for their heads, and then we're done. And you can start to see how these colors also will go work their way into the highlights of the bird too at the end. Oh. So this is alizarin, blue and alizarin, and that's phthalo green alizarin. You can just see the beautiful difference in the colors. The blue is a little cooler. It will give you a little more distance. That. And this is blue and I say red light. See those cools. This oxide red and blue again on the oxide red side. Definitely can be in here. I should be cleaning my knife in between. I should be cleaning my knife in between. This is transparent oxide with blue in it, graying it out because I figured that one isn't enough, and then this one will do the rest, whatever that one doesn't. Nice to have a change. See how that one comes forward, color comes forward to us. This color kind of sits back, but warmth wise, you know, they are on the warm side. So, you know, these colors together, they can create really good distance just by putting that one in the foreground and these other ones in the background. All right, the last little thing I need to do, a couple of these oranges here. Brighten these guys up because these are all over the water. Oh, hell. All right, let's put them together. Mix a bigger pile. Get it to the right value. Just a touch more white. Almost too much. We'll see. Just a touch too bright. Oh. I think I'm gonna take this brown one too. I didn't do this one. No, add white to it, get it up there, just to have. Sometimes you just don't.
Can you repeat that, please?
Okay, this one came from a alizarin and cad yellow with white. This one is oxide red light and white. In fact, this color feels cooler than that color. The alizarin even. I don't know why. Just does. Okay, but these guys, if we light them up enough and give them enough energy, I think I might have to take these guys down because might need a couple. Don't need it quite that bright, but I do need it intense enough to do some highlights on the thing. So take these guys down to about a 5. So that I'll go through these colors real quick too again. Too much white. That one. I was hoping to get it there and maybe get it for this guy's head back there. That kind of stuff. They might not have a lot, but they'll probably end up in the water too. So here I can run through the colors. Phthalo green and alizarin. This is on the alizarin side. This is on the phthalo green side. Coming down with white to about a 8, 7, 8 value. This is phthalo green and oxide red, transparent oxide red together. I didn't run out of it there. Very rich color. Coming down with white. Here we have phthalo green and the oxide red light coming down to about that same value. These guys I figure are going to be heavily duty in the back colors. But we got to put in the darks first. Alizarin and blue. This is on the blue side, this is on the alizarin side. Blue and oxide red light coming down. Blue side, red side. Over here I have oxide red light in cad yellow. And then I have down here I have white added to it to about a 5. 4 or 5. Here I have alizarin and cad yellow. And here I have a lot more yellow added. And here I have white added to that to about a 5. I took these colors over here and added a bunch of white to them to lighten them up. Here I have transparent oxide and blue mixed. because I was figuring I needed something with these guys too. And I brought all these colors and put them over here. Greens are on top, blues are in the middle, the blue make, and some of these bottom colors over here. Just added a bunch of white to them to get them to about a 4. 3s, 4s, probably 4s. I think it's going to be on the mid-tone side. And these colors right here, you're going to find most of the birds in. And then you're going to find your highlights probably in here. This is also going to be pretty much the watercolors too. So keep your piles clean for this one. All right. Any questions? I'm going to tone my canvas. If you have burnt sienna or transparent oxide, you're using that. Just because I want a grayed out feel to it. And I think that's going to gray out all the blues. That orange, burnt orange, gray out the blues. So clean oil, and we will be set. Get everything up and running.
Do we have anybody that's from Florida in the group? 'Cause I was
Not
gonna-
right.
Yeah, I not grew up with, because I've been gone from Florida for a long time, but I grew up on a lake, and about I would say in my 50s, I went back to visit my mother, and she warned me that there would be some strange noises early in the morning that I wasn't used to. And
yeah?
yeah, I woke up straight out of bed when I heard this screech. Literally, like, leaped out of bed, and it was a sandhill crane.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah?
so everybody in Florida that lives near water has their own sandhill crane family. And they are very territorial. They chase off people and dogs, whatever.
yeah.
They're Florida. A lot of people in Florida think they're a nuisance, so I'm not sure how well this will go over there. It's so
Well,
pretty.
Yeah, we love them up here because they just come up here for a little while, and then they all go back down. But
They never leave. I mean, they're hilarious. I mean, my sister gets so mad because she inherited the house, and she gets so angry at them because if they're gone for a period of time, like they go up to the mountains in the summer and they come back down at some point, the things will chase them off. They won't even let them in the driveway. It's hilarious. So yeah, it's
you
kind of,
can't do anything. You can't do anything.
you don't want to hurt them. I mean, you know,
No.
they do. I will tell you, they do not like my little dogs for some reason. And
Your little dogs bark at them, right?
well, they're not mine. They're just more curious, and they come out and they go kind of start walking towards him, and the sandhill cranes like leave, which I think is kind of fun. It's funny to watch them leave, and I'm like, my sister said maybe they need to stay here. We're talking about my
Your dogs.
Yeah.
Why don't you get? Maybe she should get some,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, she had a Boston, and she won't ever get anything but a Boston again, I think. So, and they bark.
Yeah.
And they're very good at being brave.
You think they would go after those birds and move them?
Yeah, which would probably be the opposite of what you want.
Yeah. We
I don't
have
know
blue
why.
herrings. We have
Oh,
blue
yeah.
herrings up at our cottage.
Yeah.
And yeah, they don't do
Is that-
anything. They just fish off the dock and that's it.
Are you using burnt sienna?
I am using oxide, yeah, burnt sienna or oxide red light or transparent oxide.
Oh, okay.
Either one. Yeah, burnt sienna is fine.
I was gonna
As
say,
we've
Jim,
seen.
you would love coming down and sitting in the, just sitting there and watching the bird life at where I grew up, because we had egrets and herons and white herons and blue herons and everything from coots to anahingas to, all
Wow.
kinds of ducks. And of course, the alligators are very prevalent now. We had a bald eagle family. We had a golden tail hawk. Yeah, I had a great aunt that was big in the Audubon Society, so she knew every bird, and she would come and literally camp out in our backyard with her binoculars and her camera and have the best
Yeah.
time. Yeah, this is before the sandhill cranes arrived. I'm not sure how she would have taken those.
Oh. So where are you now?
In Texas.
Ah.
So I could go down to Ranges Pass and see the last of the whooping cranes, but I haven't done that ever. And I'm real close to Galveston and Houston, and we have the most amazing migratory birds you've ever seen. I mean, I'd never seen bunnings and all the colors until I moved here. And it's amazing.
Mm.
Where I live in the city, so it's kind of, I just have your blue jays and red birds.
That's pretty much what we have. We don't have, woodpeckers every once in a while.
We do have now a thing that's going on. We have the crowned night heron.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're territorial too, and they seem to have checked out a whole area. So if it rains or if there's any, thing like that, they go fishing in the ditches.
Oh. Because the fish overflow?
No, well, sometimes, yeah. This is Houston, so yeah.
Oh.
We flood quite often, but not. I live in an area that's uphill from most places, which isn't much, but it's still helpful.
Oh yeah, especially you guys got hit with some huge floods there.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, I look at people, and they show me pictures of living on a river and living whatever, and I always say to myself, well,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's going to happen, but you don't expect it in a city. But we have bayous and all kinds of things like that, so it is very, you have to know that you're going to flood in Houston if you're not careful.
Okay. All right. Yes. Working this wingspan out. Yeah, I'm gonna take it pretty much to the edge, almost the edge, probably give it about a half inch. Thinking about the distance here.
Mm-hmm.
And just make sure I got some room for a frame and that kind of stuff, making sure it might not even be bad with a cropped one, but depending on this layout, how I lay it out, how well it goes. Let me skip in front of it for a second, see if these guys are even. Pretty much even. I mean, that wingspan is pretty much, slightly higher on this side. That's about it, but not by much. And we would not be too noticeable. So. Counting those big fingers out. I'm not going to worry about those. Like I said, I'm just going to probably going to cover up this stuff and then bring these feathers all back out, because they all kind of come from this point right here in his wing. So if I want to drag those guys out, at the end, be able to drag them out, and the same over here, because they kind of come right about here. They all come out of that one spot. They just draw right out of that. And then these guys kind of go. So look for when you get to these guys, that these guys just start to rotate around a little bit at the bottom. A couple lines of wings too, or feathers. You got the big ones, and you got these other ones in between the wings here. Really, they have 3. But I'm not going to worry about those guys too much. Hopefully, somebody will come in. I'll have some elves come in later and have them paint them, so I don't have to do much. They do all the hard work. So,
Oh, I want some elves.
yeah, we all want some elves to come in and finish our work for us.
Do the wings, yeah, for sure. All that
Yeah,
detail.
yeah. They got those little brushes they use. So basically, if you get this area right, I'm just going to slid him over anyway, just because I wanted to, get his leg in here. I don't want him too close to the bottom either. And there's the back one here. This one goes in. There's a little problem visually that always is a little thing, that this leg here going out in the back kind of almost feels like it goes behind the one that crosses here in front. So we will, be a little things to look at when we get there. Fun little bird though. Get this down enough that I get this angle. I want, in thinking about this water too, getting this line here, just a little bit more energy to it, so it's not so flat against the bottom. So giving a little, where these guys legs end up, that give them a little bit more energy. Not worry about the head. Okay, the other one's back there. Basically, this stuff's back in here too. You can have as much fun as you want. Basically, what I'm going to be looking for, I'm back in here in the back grasses, is a little break somewhere, like right here or right here, little spots that will break this line here. So it's not there, it staggers a little bit, and maybe get a little roundness to it right here. Then stop. Okay, no, I'm done. See, half of it's done already. Right. Oh, you guys believe me. In the head, definitely. For you guys on market, it'd probably go right about here. And you can see his neck is almost a perfect finger size. So if you have any problems, it's just a finger. You're a finger away from fixing it. So, and there's all, body wise, there's only these 3 here, and then this guy back in here that gets any love at all. I'm not even, I don't even know why I'm marking, because they're just that's all they're going to be, is brush strokes. They're not going to be anything more than that kind of gestury kind of thing. So any of these birds back in there, you can barely see them back in. And there'll be more grays, blue grays. All right. I'm sure you guys all have it drawn out, and you guys are set to go. Okay.
Easy peasy.
It's too easy. I know this one looks really hard, but I'm just going to work on the background for about for about an hour, and it should be pretty close to done. I'm gonna
Except
start.
elves,
Well, they come in and put in the final details.
like I said, except for the elves.
Yeah, right. You're right. You're right. Right. I opened myself up to that when I told you guys my secret recipe there. I'm gonna still start off my darks stuff. I'm gonna start off with a bristle brush because I want it kind of rough and everything on this thing. I'm just gonna go through my colors really quickly. A lot of times, I'm not gonna worry about the legs and the beak, and well, hell, there's really I should just start with the midtones. I should just start with the midtones, but I just can't. I don't do that. So this is phthalo green and blue, or alizarin. Just basically, I'm just going to use it as the marker for this bottom, this line of reeds coming in here. Just put them in. They're going to dark. These guys are going to gray out, and they are going to. If I put them in right, vertically a little bit. I start them off flat on the bottom, but bring them back down, scratch them in here. That's kind of fun already. I did leave a little bit of my oxide, transparent oxide in here, a little heavier in the back here. When I went to this, I didn't wipe it all out really too heavily. So I'm just pushing this brush in here a little bit like this to start to get the tone back there. But as you can see, if you put it in too dark, let me take over. This is the phthalo green side of it. I'm going to put this in a few spots back in here. I just love to get some green back in here. On the green side. And I'm just pushing this brush up to release so it mixes really kind of neat, just kind of pushes it through. Try not to create mud yet, which is, always going to happen. But you can see that warmth that I left there is doing its job already. I didn't have to take it all out. All right. I'm just going to go through a few more colors here. Same thing with the spots I see here for the really warmer oxide red and transparent oxide red and phthalo green. Just a few spots right here around where, right behind his head, there's this area of reeds that the water kind of travels back in. I'm going to put that color right around his head too a little bit. I don't want it to look too great, but well, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to push there, work it up here a little bit. Now that it's a little bit dirty, the color it's not so pure. We can warm it up, put it in more in the midsection of these reeds. Will come in handy. And then bring it down. Thinking about the shadow, reflections too. How we get those guys in here. Okay. Okay. We've got these other cranes that are coming in here. All right. That's about it right now for the background. values and stuff. The next one's with all the midtones, the midtone line of colors. We'll pretty much make the rest of these guys. They'll go so quick. I'm just trying to see where else I can get here before I go to my midtones, where I got any blues and stuff. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going to go to my midtones. I really don't have anything. Everything else is just going to be really, or for little teeny legs and stuff like that colors. So I'm going to go to my midtones. Go with my purples. Start again with phthalo green and alizarin and blue with white added to it. I'm bringing that. You can see it's still pretty dark. Not as light as it needs to go. But bring it down and just not trying to wipe out my darks I put in there. Just trying to, with a bristle brush, I just want to lay it in over those, and let these bristles just open up to do the work. They don't just make mud. I'm going to bring some purples down farther on the water section. And then over here, same thing. Just these guys run really more in the middle of the reeds and then into the bottoms. Get rid of that green a little bit. Push it back. It's going to keep pushing it back little by little. Just trying to create a section here, making that section happen. Subtly be able to do some of these things. It's really easy to put the heads and necks in. So just, do get close to these things. Don't overpaint a little bit. What I'm trying to say is try to overpaint so you get some color in their necks. It'll just make it more believable and nicer. So that's just phthalo green and stuff in blue. Phthalo green and alizarin. Wow. Looking at this going, okay. This is where this color is. In fact, I know it's blue cool gray. And when I put some red into it, I think I can get, it's going to get all these shadows, reflective shadows and stuff in these areas too. So I'm just shoving it in there for now, and I'll fix it later if it doesn't work. Here, I want to get that line for that water. So yeah, I think the bristle brush was a good super call for the start of this. I feel like I got a line going right here. Just a little strong coming through here somehow. Okay. Yeah, over here too. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put in the shadow. See, the bird's body goes right in here. Right in here. But under it, the shadow comes in, or the reflective shadow comes in. And you get that. Okay. One of the things I did, I'm going to go back to some of my super darks again here for my first row of darks to get, start to put in these legs, this line of water here this guy's making. Basically alizarin and phthalo green for that. So I'm gonna put in those guys that dark. Find that first spot, you know, his leg's gonna hit. Okay. And I finish it off by putting in the ripples. At the start of the ring, ripple rings. Here.
What color are you using again, Jim?
Right now, the purple I put in was alizarin and phthalo green with white. Second line of colors. I think that's like a 7, 8 maybe. And then when I got down to this line right here, I went back to the original color with no white to put in that line of this line of water breaking here by his foot. And that was pretty much more on the phthalo green side. I mean, there is some purple in it, but you know, that will come through. And it's just a basic crazy bad looking line. You know, that's all I'm looking for. A little thicker at the end, and where it ends, that's where his foot is. So wherever that ends, that's where his foot's going to end up being. So I pushed it a little bit farther, trying to get little things out of the little bit more out of the middle for myself. Okay. Still with the bristle brush. Going through here. I said I was going to paint a lot of these guys back in here. I want to see what this does. This is the alizarin and phthalo green with white. This is on the phthalo green side, so it's almost it's almost a you know, just a kind of a green. It's not green. It's a bluish gray, that gray and stuff. It's that color. You know, with just a little bit of white in it. So I put that there on this wing just to see if that was the color I was thinking it was going to end up being. Gonna have to go a lot later. But this is the color. I'm going to switch to a different bristle brush. That one's just here to. I need to get a couple drawing points for it. So I'm going to a filbert type bristle brush, so I can get a few drawing points in here, so I can do like a neck, get a thick and thin for the neck for this bird and stuff like that. Back behind. That's why I'm grabbing it, just more for drawing, because I want to draw out the back of this bird here a little bit. This fat bird comes, well, he should be 2. Is that? No. This is that. His head's here. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to put this bird in right in here. He's going to keep him in alizarin's, that phthalo green side. This one I already have a lot of purple in the back end. Soften that up a little bit. Figuring out this head here, I got lots to do, but what I want to do is on these, when I get these birds, is really layer them out color wise. So you know, back in here, when I get back in here, these are a cooler blue than this. So that's the thing, is where I might go over to like the blue and oxide red mix of this and use that back in here because I'm looking for a this color to die out back in here. I want this color is probably too that blue and alizarin is probably going to be a little bit too bright back there. I'm going to come forward too much. So if I go with the blue side, that sort of same color. But I don't like I don't want to do, I can't do the alizarin side because the alizarin side is just going to be too sweet. And back there, it's going to jump forward. So I'm just going to do, that's why I'm going with the oxide red and blue for everything from that line back, bird-wise shape. And they're just shapes. I'm not doing anything but painting a shape like this, you know, just simple whole shape. And I'm just going to work back into it. Right here is in that orange shape right in, going to go right in here of the bird that's catching some light. This guy catches a little bit of light right in here, but his neck and head here pretty much going that purple, blue, purple. That does not mean I can't bring it forward too, though, because it's going to go into these guys a lot, and it's probably going to end up in this bird all over the place too. That's the cool thing. Basically, you think there's a lot of color in these things, in this bird, and you're probably going to end up finding that there's only 2 or 3 colors in this bird. You know, so it can be simplified. So I'm just placing those purple shapes of the birds in here for myself. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in and just start putting in some warmth back into the reeds back there and run those colors into these blues here a little bit where I need them. So this is oxide red and phthalo green. Oxide red light and phthalo green I'm putting in. And if you put it in just really simple, goes in really nice. It complements out that stuff. Okay, and then back in, it'll help. It's going to start putting it in the background a little bit. So this is good. These colors are just going to kind of, you know, this is why we can't. None of these guys are standing out so much, is because all the colors are similar to what they are, except for the red dot on their heads. You know, that red marking. I'm doing it just lightly. That's about it. Cranes back there are pretty big. I got them pretty big. So I'm working again. This is again oxide red and phthalo green. That was on the red side. I'm going to put a little more on the green side up here. Gray it out underneath those reeds. definitely in the back further, probably. I think use the red side for these, for to section them off a little bit to help keep these reeds here coming forward. That little row of almost island of them right behind, right directly behind these cranes here. And then in the back section of those things, staying with the phthalo green dominant color back in here. That's where I saw this green spot I put in right away, because I basically was marking it for myself later on that, you know, how green I wanted it. It has to be a kind of a green gray. So this is again just oxide red, transparent oxide red, phthalo green. On the green side is white, and the red side comes forward. So that came in things. Might put it at the top of stuff. When I get over here on this side, when it starts to catch light, you know, I might probably bring it in. Like I said, very vertical strokes. So if I came on the red side where it starts to get light, it gets a little orangey light over here. I'll leave that there. Okay, still this thing. Okay. So I gotta try and keep the water a little simpler than what it could be. All right. I'm going to put in some of this orange just for to kind of jump ahead, put some of these oranges in here. For you guys can probably get some separation. You guys can see some separations here. This is again this is a transparent oxide red with cad yellow in it, and it will just help a little bit. I'm going to work it into the wing of this guy there too, in a few spots here. I see it. That little bit of warmth sometimes, so neat. Might have to lighten it, but that's it. I'm going to put it in this guy's back who catches full light. Go work it in a little bit because I want it to, you know, I don't want it too bright all the way across. And then whatever I have left, I'm going to put on this guy. Do his body. He's in the shade and some sun. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to the alizarin side of this color. So alizarin cad yellow. And put that in the shadow sides of this orange a little bit before I get to the brighter area. I'll shove some in here too. This guy here, this separation here. Good to get them mixed in. Like I'm shoving it in there. I'm not like, it does look like I'm going a lot of back and forth into it. Grab the wrong color. But what I'm looking for when I do this is just really quick mixes. I'm not looking for too mottled color because that will just become mud. A couple strokes that's going to be lightened up a lot that color here. You know, and I'm gonna use the water to correct any drawing mistakes I have. So since I'm doing oranges, I'm gonna go in here and put a few of these into the water while I'm doing it. I like to just keep going. So this reflection here of this color here is in the water right below them pretty much. And that's what you look for. I overdid this spot here. But that's okay. Okay. I'll put it in a few spots like that. Okay, so this is what I'm putting in with a bristle brush because I don't want these pieces, these areas. I don't want to define them very much. And so a bristle brush will kind of keep me from doing that. Because it's always gonna not gonna, and a too big a bristle brush too. It's not like I'm using a small one. So okay. Just
Jim,
going to
did you
Yeah.
decide to leave out the whatever color you want to call the orange color on the guy in the front?
oh, on his head?
No, the guy in the front. Not
Him?
the, yeah, like on his tail end.
No, I haven't done any. I've not even really even thought about the big ones yet.
Okay.
I'm just working my way towards those guys. I'm just trying to just get the background in a position that I can, the next colors can play with it nicely.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing. Looking for a little more pinks and stuff in this back guy here. So you can see. That would be that guy's head. Not for now. I mean, and then this guy gets a little more light on his head. So find it a little bit cooler. So this is a Liz on the alizarin and cad yellow side. On a little more alizarin added to it. Getting these kind of a more pinkier oranges into these guys back there, making them pop a little bit, especially this back edge of that bird there. This guy here too gets really a lot more, or a little brighter. Well, it doesn't get much more. Putting some oxide red and phthalo green back into these guys on that side, and then I'll what a mess. Who picked this? It can be, it's going to jump in a few minutes, so I'm not too worried. Not worried at all. Okay. The background without white, without the white in it, is pretty good. I can, you know, pretty much get every what I'm looking for. I wanted to make sure I have enough color in here to to balance the birds out, so I can balance the birds as I put them in. Yeah, I haven't put any markings or anything. It's way too early for me to even think about any details yet. I'm just trying to basically get it blocked in before I make any really assumptions about full color, what the changes in color are going to be. All right. I'm still going to be painting with a bristle brush. This one's a really nice one. It's like I said, a Filbert bristle brush, number 12. I'm going to get in here and get the darks in these wings. All those colors are going to come right from, pretty much right from a line of midtones we have there. And I think a lot of these colors are going to come from oxide red and transparent oxide red and phthalo green are going to be like the main darks in this thing, like this spot right here in his wing, underneath his wing. I'm going to start there. That's phthalo green, oxide red on the red side. Right? I'm just going to put a tone too, coming in here in the bottom of the wings. I think on this side, okay, I'm going to say red on that side. I'm going to stay more on a little bit, slightly more on the green side over here on this bird. Just to, create a kind of a wonky balance thing. But you barely can tell. There's never, these colors are so tight. So just like almost like a base tone of this color going there. I'm going to keep his belly, in fact, on the greener side, maybe even on the little bit more richer transparent oxide red side in these crevices. I want to get that body to come forward, so I'm using just the richness in the paint at that value to the warmth and to come through here, pop that head through. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use this over here or anything else, but it just means this body here is going to get a lot of more weight to it on that side of the warmth. That would just help that body come out and push the arms back. Okay, so while I'm doing that, I should be looking at this guy too. I'm looking at it going, okay, he should be probably more in the same thing. He's probably more red. Might have to push the red in him just a hair more. Phthalo green and red into his body in the midtone. I mean, more green in the head, I think. Just trying to get these two to separate a little bit before we go very far. Just putting in, working in a little bit of shadow into these things. Okay. So, got the warmth. I decided to push the oranges in here, or the warmth in here. Now I'm going to come back with the cooler sides, a little bit cooler sides of these, and see what they do. This is a blue and oxide red on the blue side, number 7. Let's start to see how that goes into this warm here a little bit. Oh, it shines, comes through. I think I'm gonna find probably more of it. And this guy almost more like trying not to go to my light colors yet. This is the blue and alizarin on the blue side. I'm going to use that to mark my spot here a little bit. Get that in here. I can see it. A few spots in here coming through. Leave the blue on the back end. Might look for it on these other birds back in here. Especially going through here. I missed the bird. That's why they look so clunky. A little bit of work there. I'm gonna put it right under his neck. And coming down over his thing here. Probably almost on the purple side, a little more red into it coming down here. Because that red will come in front of this blue And it will help push the wings back. It'll really kind of tell you again that the wings go back behind here. So having the red and that blue here will do that. Okay. Okay. So, all right. I'm going to take down. Hey, Bjorn, wake up. My dog's sleeping. He cries in his sleep sometimes.
Oh, I was wondering, it sounded like a dog, but I thought, well, maybe, maybe I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
he. I don't know what he has nightmares about. You know, he doesn't have a rough life.
No, I was gonna say, I doubt it's a nightmare. It's probably more of he's chasing rabbits or running, off, diving off the dock or going after the ball.
Yeah. Hey, Bjorn, wake up. I'm gonna step on you. There's the only way to get him to sit up. He was in deep. The thing is, if my other dog looks at him and goes, what am I gonna do? I can't do anything. All right. I just mixed up my oxide light and blue mix with white. I just mixed those guys up just a little bit more. I didn't want it to go too bright. I don't want to go to my highlights, but I need a different value to change to do this guy. And because I was putting in the blue and then I started going, oh, I need to get to the red. It has to change to red right about here. So that's what I was trying to do there. So I mix up a value that's just a little bit darker. Kind of like I'm missing, like I said, I felt like I was missing the midtones right in here. Right in his belly here. I'm not looking for the painting every feather yet. I just want to get the basic structure down and then come back with all the feathers. So let me see how this side goes. I'm gonna keep this on the blue-gray side. So I'm being consistent. Warmers on that side of his wings. This side is going to be a little cooler, so it's on the bluer side. And fill in these sections. It should not, value-wise, changes on these wings. Try to get them down to about four value changes. Don't get too, you got your dark and maybe two mediums, light medium and slightly darker medium. And then your highlights, which are value is probably right around a 4, maybe 5. So that would be when we get to those last little things there. That's all you have to do. You can, I might mix up a couple gray greens in this value you know, when I get into these wings out here, you know, thinking about that, bringing in some of these, the phthalo green and oxide red in values into it too. So that will create like all the subtleties you need when you get there. Let me see something else too. I'm thinking keeping that on the what I was thinking, you know, keeping this on the phthalo green side, this wing now over here, keeping it on, you know, just to make it look really, really cool. Would want to, you know, I'm thinking that just keeping this one on the blue side and that one on the red side might not be enough. I might have to go over here. I'm going to go red side, phthalo green side, blue side, with a oxide red side. So there is a little bit bigger jump. And a lot of this stuff won't show up until you get the midtones in, or the lights in. Basically, I'm just painting the full shape of the wings, and then I'll come back in and get the long feathers. I should be painting this guy at the same time, doing that same concept. But he might, since he's in the foreground, I might use, instead of using oxide red light, I might go in here and go with a transparent oxide red light and phthalo green for the wings to really get a change here. Those are just some of the warms to put in here. Thing is, if I put them in really overstate them, I'm going to create mud. So I wouldn't want to create mud yet. But I would like to, you know, think about this wing area here. This tips on him or her. Tell me about it. Getting this in right a little bit. Going up. There we go. Gotta get this one. It's more of a red duck underneath his wings. Right here, underneath his wing, right here. It's an oxide red and blue. Dark, you know. And I put in some slashes. Yeah, basically hit that shape. That's all you got to do. I got this one that's going to cut across here. I don't want to put it in too soon there, but I will put it in up here into his wing, upper wing. And he has it slightly downwing on the back end. Mark that too. That's a faded green. I'm going to go back to a few of my real darks just to get some of the shadow built into this guy underneath. This is a phthalo green and oxide red. I want to get that in here underneath. It's almost as like a line that you know, tells you where this bird is, you know. When I get to the green side, I want to do a little more green on here. Because where are these feathers almost are it's a lot of translucency to them. They almost, sparkle. They almost look like they're made of metallic. And to get metallic is really a lot of midtones. All midtones, cools against warms, blues against red, warmer grays, to get that metallic look. All right, so I'm going back to, since I was doing that, it was working out pretty well down in here, just like, creating a lot of that stuff I do need. I wanted that, okay, I'm going to go up here. I saw this area here, definitely could use it. And this area here just flattened out because all the other grays were just too, just too close. So this is back almost to the home value color. Going back in, and I'm going to put in where those feathers have to go. That line of feathers. Basically, this is almost like a shadow color. And put it in early, put it in underneath. And then I can do something. Again, I'm not touching these final areas here too much. Just, I can block them out. I mean, I can tell myself how many there are. There's three top ones, and what, five altogether. So 2 down in here for this break. So these guys are going to be my big ones coming out. So they still come out from there. They still come out another ½ inch. But I could start doing that. I'm not a feather counter. So again, phthalo green, oxide red together.
Are you starting to take work away from the elves?
Yes, those, they are expensive.
I was gonna
So-
say, probably have to
the more I can get done, I can, keep a little bit more in my pocket. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm just bringing back in that dark just a little bit more as my dark, or my mid. This is my more of my mid-tone dark on this side, and it is on a little bit. Feels like on the phthalo green side. I think a lot of this could even be, God, if I would have got, my brush has gotten a little bit too much white in it. And so it is really making the color just a hair too light. See, I was trying to go, if I get lucky enough, I can get, yeah, it's pretty close. Maybe I should, this should be alizarin in green. Going, maybe I'll get, yeah, alizarin in green, full strength, to get the tips of these wings. Yeah, the elves will be pissed. They didn't get their full exchange. But if I can get a few of these tips in, that will help, that way. But so on this side, I'm going to go, I went with a little bit more alizarin and phthalo green into the bottom of those tips. Over here, I want to go a little bit more contrasty when I get there. So I'm going to put because I'm going to be stroking in each feather but I want to have the dark in, I want to have the shadow in. And so when I put in one line, that's what I want to do is put them in one line at a time, and you can be done really quickly. But on this side, I want to stay on the warmer red side. So I'm going transparent oxide and phthalo green for this side of the wings, because I want to get these guys to, that light to pop really hard on this side. Now that'll be good here. I might put, it's going to go in these top wings. So it's good to see that sometimes. And that's, you can only see it by painting. You can't, I'm mixing colors and stuff. Yeah, I'm getting, pretty much had all the colors right. At least I felt pretty good about it. I think trying to figure, I'm not a feather counter. I didn't count those feathers. The big only ones I'm going to count are the ones up here. One up there, one, there's 5 of them again. 2, 3. Okay. So that one's going to come here. That one's going to come in here. That should work out. Yeah, that'll work out. Okay. So I'm really pushing the warmth in these guys. On this one, I'm going to push the tips too. All right. I'm going to throw in these. No, totally throw them in. I'm going to give you a good idea of what I'm going to do on. I'm putting this wing in. I'm going to put this wing in to make sure I got everything. When I put it in, I don't want to have to go in and paint in between again. So a lot of stuff is just making sure that things here are taken care of, so I don't have to, I'm not thinking about, things. Because I can always grab that stuff and fix that, but I don't want to have to go back and fix this. Okay. First color I'm going to try. This is oxide red, phthalo green. No, sorry. Oxide red, blue. Now this is really heavy into the oxide red side. It's really a red brown. And I might even just add just a touch of cad red to it, just to pop it. Okay, what I'm going to do is put just a touch, barely touch the oil with my tip of my brush. I don't get it too oily. Then grab the color. And I'm going to hold it just a flat, drag it, pull it across. So I'll start in where I need full color. And I'm going to drag it all the way across. Where I need it, because I can always push back in. Those are the marks you want. So I'm going to do that 5 times. Top ones are going to get a lot more red. Keep a little bit more cad maybe in the top one. Same thing. You just repeat the same steps. Touch of oil. Grab your brush. Grab your color. Start it off. This one goes off just a little bit longer than that one. Not by much. And they're pretty straight. And then we get clean fingers are the key, a big key to this thing. Okay, as I come down here, don't have to have quite as much red into it. So they're not all looking too much the same. And these bottom ones, I might even go to the blue side, a little bit more blue, oxide red and blue into these last ones. Work that back into just the middle of them a little bit. This guy doesn't really, this one's hey, George, wake up. All right, so I'm just going to work this side of the painting a little bit now for the rest of the time, because we only have half an hour about left, and this way I can really start to show you, you know, how things go. I got a little bit too much oil in showing you guys that. Got carried away. So I got that red in there. I'm just going to just go on the blue side just a little bit and get the underneath part of the feather a little bit just to break that color up. It goes right next to the I don't know, quill part of it. It's almost a little bit under half. I'm just going to keep it a little bit darker. Work the warmth just in these tips here, these guys a little bit. These are bigger feathers. I mean, fatter parts of the feather. Okay. So. You know, if I can get the back, the value of the water and stuff is really what I have here. It's not too bad. It's not pretty close. It's not a big thing to go back in. I'll try to show you guys though. Here I was basically trying to do most of this work with a synthetic or a bristle brush, and then kind of change over to a synthetic here at the end. Do really just to carve out, you know, certain things here on these guys. So I'm going to be working right in here for a little bit. Again, it's going to be I think I gotta go with just oxide red and blue. You know, I put a little cad red over there. I might put just a touch of cad red into it, into that mix, a little bit mix, and then lighten it up to up to the value. Let's just see how bright that is. That's way too bright. Value of 4, so that's going to add some more red to that color. So I'm kind of seeing this on the reds, this side again on the red sides, and this side on the green side highlights. So this one I might just went too far, but this is going to be pretty much the value I want. It's here too dark now, but when I have it, I'll be doing pretty much what I did on the big ones. It just needs a little blue. Just on the too much on the pinks showing through, just a touch too much. Still much. See, I thought I had this color too. But I don't want to go down my lighter colors too much because I think that's too far. Let me test it here. Okay. So in this neck. When I'm painting, my strokes are just giving them a hair of space so the working my way down, going down. Every time I put a stroke in, I'm doing a stroke right under it, but I'm just kind of like leaving a line for the shadow of the thing. That'll get my subtleties, and I don't have to go too far. Now that my brush is just slightly, polluted with color from what's down here and stuff, I can just tag a few spots. Okay. We'll lighten this neck up a little bit of blue, put that blue in there. Not bad. I figured more blue would be in my brush there. From his neck. I could go right to his shoulder there and get it in, but alas, did not. All right, so this color here, this is basically oxide red blue. A little bit of cad red into it for shine. Maybe a touch more cad red. That's sheeted over there. Got it, just a hair. Keep the warmth in it. For this side of his wing. And what I want to do is just start to get these wings, that the feathers that cover up these guys here a little bit farther out. Get those guys in. They just go pretty much almost in between feathers. Now that it's dark enough, you can start to get a little bit of lighter spots. No, it's not. So I can get this. This is the highlight in his wing. So I'll bring that in. Leave the space here and get that first row of feathers. And if I flick my brush at the end, when I grab the paint, leaving a little space here, when I flick it, I can pretty much catch that bottom edge of a feather. That's why I like putting things in with the flat. Because of how they hit. Because I can just twist it down and kind of makes the shape. And there's just a slightly second row here. Probably gonna have to go back and maybe do some 94 to put in the final little things. Now I get going here. But that's okay. I don't just basically just start back in here. I'm gonna start towards the big feathers here. And get the light in first coming in and just then grab each feather here. As you can see, they're just slightly at an angle. That light, so that's good. That's, I can just lay my brush right in here flat and just don't have to twist it much and bring it right back up and create these feathers. And just leave a smidgen of room in between. You'll be fine. Like I said, I'm not counting feathers. I'm just going to keep space. And if I have to, come back and count them, I count them. Basically, I'm just going to go. Basically, I usually paint shapes of light. And that's what I'm knowing that they get skinnier. I'm just gonna basically lay down my brush thinner and thinner. And I'll be at. I have to go. So that's why we'll just keep bringing that out. I might have to go just a touch brighter. Now I can go down to my final colors, my bright highlights, and look at some of these highlights in these wings and stuff. Seeing like we're a blue green, which just right here on this line, will just pop, will just scream out. Really help out. So on to my last colors, values. This wing is three-quarters of the way there. How I finish off the tines, I'm not sure if that's even that name that is. If I had a knife, I'll just take my knife. We made these kind of peachy colors at the end, and the cad red and the oranges and stuff. And I'd run one right on here, figure out where I need to start. It's more of the top edge. And just run one right in there. Just run it in with my knife. Give it paint. Don't mess up, though. Just touch it maybe at the end. Maybe getting a little bright. Tone it down. I think I missed this one. Bring it down just a hair. Okay. Like I said, I'm just gonna warm that. I go back in maybe now, and now they can see that and go start working a little bit of more warmth into these wet purples here, just a little more on the red side, just to pop them a little bit like that. That's perfect. Okay, his head. I'll just do his head real quick for you because I want to get across that, yeah, it's not in the shadow in the photo, but I definitely would rather have it in this, some light on it. Would be great. So, and I could just steal almost all the information from these guys over here that need to go brighter. Not quite that bright, but brighter. It could be a highlight, more of a highlight color. But I can steal that and use that on this guy's neck here. More warmth, red warmth here. This is the cad red and into that color, into those blues. The cheeks here should be more yellowish. I'll put them in light. Should have been in the oxide red or orangey color. Light, warm, orangey color. Maybe on just one side. Maybe I'll just do one side. Yeah. One side. Keep the other side cool. Okay. Wipe on my brush. I'm going to put in a kind of a alizarin and blue mix for his head, top of his head here, for the crown. And his beak. So yeah, I went with a purple underneath. That's what I was going for, is purple underneath. And then I'm going to bring it back. Bring it back a little bit. A lot, in fact. I just don't want to use a little bit smaller brush to do that. I'm going to put it in with that cad red alizarin. No, I put it in with alizarin and cad yellow mix. Barely have any cad red in there, or cad yellow in here. Put it in there really strong, and then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of cad red on the light side. So put the crown in that over that red alizarin, you know, and I'm going to just go back in with just a little bit of cad red and hit the front edge of that guy a little. Oh boy, that was pretty close. Almost pure cad red into that top head crown. And then I'll be able to come back with that cad red again into these guys one more time in the mix. That should be really nice. You know, everything back in here, just gonna be marks. So this guy stands out. This guy here, I'm sorry, I didn't get very far on him. But definitely alizarins and stuff. Here, I'm going to put in just a little bit of cad red right in the, let's say he got a little bit of light all of a sudden right at the top. Just to make him pop, because if you don't make him pop, the whole story might fall. So cheat it if you have to. Okay, this leg will go back into the shadow. So let's, you know, I'm going to straighten out this wing here. Our feather there got a little bit wonky. It's okay. We don't want every feather to be perfect. If you do that, they'll be kind of not going to work out either. I'm going to go back in, put in the shadows, you know, and these back guys a little bit stronger, break these guys up. You know, basically it's just going to be a lot of this stuff is just pulling down the color that you already have and finishing off these guys. I don't want to lose that blue purple there. So I'm not going to take my time and get this stuff in right. So I'll bring you in for a close-up. You probably lost a lot of this. A lot of little things here. You know, these shadows. But this guy came a long ways pretty quickly. Just basically got to do the same thing I did here over here on this side, you know, and then just pull. I might pull a knife for a couple of the feathers because I only have to do like 3 or 4 of them, and it'll look really good. I just got to finish up the blues and purples and stuff on it. Let's bring it in. So that guy did not get much love yet, but he's basic tones. He's, you know, I didn't want to jump too far ahead. This guy got a lot more. You can see, didn't do, just got the value changes in here in the one side of the wing. Over here, I started giving it the full kind of closer to the finish. Head-wise, you can see a little bit what I was talking about, you know, bringing his head out of the shadows there and stuff, keeping the warm on his the left side of his neck, bringing that in. It probably could be a little bit warmer because of the heads behind it have a little bit more warmth in it. Maybe more yellow, probably might be. It would help bring it forward. You'll see those guys, nothing but shapes, simple shapes. Just color, keep them simple, keep them soft, and they'll be fine. Now it is time to see what Lynette and everybody else did. So, Lynette.
Okay. My disclaimer is I had to be on the phone for like an hour, but what? I'm trying to catch up.
What the big tomato say to the little tomato?
I know.
Gotcha. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Oh, that's a great start. That's fun. You really push that thing in. You got the wingspan very nicely. And I like what you did with the bird in front. In fact, you jumped way ahead and got that bird in there. Okay, the water, yeah, you jumped a little bit too far in the water, but that's okay. I would definitely tell you to paint the water now before you do any, before you're done, because those marks and stuff will be all over the water. So make sure your water is kind of like finished before you're done painting today or tomorrow. It'll be good. We'll be wet probably for a while, but I definitely tried to get some of the water in there to soften those lines and stuff for you at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, and good job on the reeds back there. Yeah, take your time on those. Just bring them in. Good, a little scrubbing with a bristle brush, and then if you want, if you don't even want to, I'm not sure if you're going to put the other birds in. If you're not, I don't know. It's up to you.
In the back, yeah, I've left space for them.
Okay.
I just didn't paint those in. Yeah.
Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah,
Good
I want to do several of them. So.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like where you're going. And you know, remember that bird when you start putting in his highlights and stuff, final highlights, that it is the lizard oxide red light and blue, heavier on the red side, but a lot of white. When finally start to pull out all the feathers, that the shine in them, that's the color that would be a good color to use
Okay.
and stuff. And that'll pretty much pull the bird together for you.
Okay. The oxide light and the blue, was that the last two or?
Yeah, pretty much the last two. And then just a lot of white into those colors. I think I even added just a touch of cad red into it too, to give it a little sheen, richness,
Oh,
more
okay.
richness. Just a touch. But it's high key, very high key, probably around, we're going probably around 4s, 3s at the most.
Okay.
So you don't want to get too bright, but when you put those guys in, just give a little room in between feathers. You already did it. You have it there. But I'm just thinking you might need to go a little bit brighter yet.
Okay.
Or it could be a little bit darker. But your wings, I like your wings so far. Good job on those.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you. It's a great composition.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to finish up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. You can get back on the phone now. Okay.
We're done. So
Okay. That's no problem. Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
I loved your dog from last week
Thank
or a
you.
couple weekends ago. You did a great job on him.
Thank you.
wow.
Oh, really good start on this. See, she good job on the purples going in there, really getting those grays. Fun things. It can be a lot of fun. It is. It's going to work out really well. I can tell already. I like the lights going in there. Not much else to say. I mean, right now, I like what you followed so far. We're just, when we get there, just think about definition in a few of the feathers, not all of them, because sometimes when you do every feathers, you put in the shadow under each feather, and define it out, you just create a mess. It's just too much to look at. So really picking out the really good ones will work out great. Good job on them so far. I think that's going to work out fine. I like the length. He's going to have some good length when you get the final feathers in. I'm sorry, not much else to say right now. I think I like it. Like where you are. I can tell where you are because I'm just there too. You kept up very well.
Thank you.
Good. Well, all right. Let's see. Nancy, did you paint?
No, as usual.
No.
No, it's just really hard for me to get the dogs and me in the same place and set up for painting. So I'll have to do that later, but
No worries. No.
still asleep.
Did you fall asleep?
They're still asleep.
Oh, they're asleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine are sleeping over here too.
Yeah.
It's nice and cool down where we are, so they're just like on the ground, just out.
Yeah, well, we're not in the studio, which I literally turn the temperature down so they can handle it when I get up there with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it helps me a lot to watch how you make your decisions about when to put the paint down and where to go. And it gives me an idea to get started. So
Oh, great. Yeah, that's what I try to do. I try to talk all the way through these things to, show you what I'm thinking. But this has a long ways to go, and if I get going on it and I have something else I think is really important, I'll just make another video and send that out to you guys too. Sometimes it just get very heavy.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were going to maybe send some of the water when
I get there. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, okay. That would be grateful. I would be grateful for that.
Me
I mean,
too. I have no idea how to handle it. I just have it rough spots, and I'm going, it's going to fit in there. That's the great thing about oils is we can always, mess up as much as you want, and sometimes you just look for those happy accidents. I just know a few tricks, and hopefully one of them is going to work. Just put it in with palette knife or put it in with big bristle brush, or whatever, maybe both. We'll see. Well, you will see.
Yeah. I love the way the background has started to really turn out.
Yeah, I'm just nice and clean, and you're done with it. You don't funks with it. Now I can just concentrate on him a little bit more, or him and him, and then we're definitely, these guys are going to get a little bit more love. And then the water, I'll ruin it all with the water. That's what that's what we're looking for.
I was going to tell you, I did a painting a long time ago that was really huge, and it was all about Rosetta Spoonbill. But
Oh yeah,
and I didn't like the heads, because they look kind of vulturish. So I stuck all their heads in the water. That was the whole, or their heads got chopped off at the top of the painting. So I'm totally aware of how to kind of make things kind of work when it turned out really funny. I mean, it was a beautiful painting when I was finished, but it was just like, okay, that's ridiculous. But they bury their heads in the water a lot. So, I kind of got away with it.
there you go. Yeah, I know. Yeah. We painted flamingos like that. And they're the same thing. It's just sometimes you just need to hide something sometimes. I mean, that's the thing is, don't let a little something that you don't like and stuff, ruin a painting for you. If you need to hide it, hide it. It's no big deal. No one else in the world knows you did what you just did, except for everybody listening right now today. They all know exactly what you did to that painting, and shame on you.
I'm gonna have to go take a picture of it and post it, because then you guys will know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, you know the site. Put it up there. We'll love to take a look at it for you. All right. Everybody having a great 4th of July coming up here.
And you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, have fun.
All right, guys. We will see you later.
See you
All right.
Monday.
Oh yeah. Back at it.
Probably Monday. Yeah.
All right.
All
Bye, guys.
bye-bye.
Bye.